Oh,
Hail and welcome to this edition of the Magical Human Show. As I am Claire the Oily Witch, and this is
June Tranmer Well-Being back in York and
fantastic.
indoors because it's cold out there.
It is very cold, and this edition will focus not entirely, but will cover the waning silver birch moon and the impending Rowan moon, which is going to be with us on Sunday in Capricorn. More Capricorn energy. So with a
Yay!
sun in Capricorn, a moon in Capricorn. In fact, when does yep, sun and moon in Capricorn, Sunday promises to be a very special Capricorn day. And that means some quite kind of well, this energy, I don't know about you, June, but I'm aware that we've got the Sun, Mars, Mercury, Venus, all in Capricorn. Now, this energy is Capricorn is gentle, but it is authoritative. It asks people to take the time to create correct and solid foundations from which they wish to build their the rest of their year, the light months. So this is a kind of you've gone through the shadow time, so this is the time to evaluate the year that went by. And now we're kind of at this new beginning threshold of, right, okay, what are you going to do for the year ahead? Let's make sure you've crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's so that as you go into that creative process, which happens as we go with Rowan into Imbolc, you have come from a very kind of stable place. And when I was doing a meditation last night with my group, and I was saying to them, make sure that the foundations you create are not made of stone or packed earth. You want them to be able to flex and flow. So build that in as well. And I think that that is kind of one of the best ways to live is to understand that if it's for you, it won't go by you. And to remember that in all of the news that you receive that might not be news you hoped you would receive. It's just trusting that there is this bigger picture.
Mm,
And so Capricorn, I was saying last night, feels very much like, and Waning Birch as well is about the clearing of this is the final energy of shedding those snaky skins and kind of like letting those ancestrals, this wooden snake, so it's ancestral karmic patterns, letting as many of them go as you can for now before coming into Rowan, which is Bridget's tree. And Bridget is the ultimate fire maiden. So there's a kind of
mm,
purity around this time of year, which should feel yours after your refreshing winter break and allow you to then move into the fire horse and take advantage of the energy that that will bring you in a very
mm,
kind of, processed way, really, a smoother way. And so Capricorn, this time is quite interesting because Capricorn can often call us into a place of you should have done better, you should be, why aren't you working harder? It's ruled by Saturn. It's like
mm,
father time, really. And so time can feel very precious. And so you've got certainly within me, possibly because it's my rising and my sun is Cancer, but this kind of wrangling of wanting to be gentle, and the weather is certainly indicating that gentleness still, and
mm,
thinking, my God, I should be doing this better, da da da, and then having to consciously slow myself down and say, it's fine. One thing well at a time, not Claire, 50 projects, not very well at the same time. So you don't know where your ass is. Because that is me all over. Capricorn, oh, I'm going to start a new, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I should be doing this, da, 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 da. And then it's like, I haven't got the time to actually do anything properly. So
yeah.
that's what I want to say about that. June, that was a very long intro from me.
That was very good. And it's also reminded me about one of the things that I wanted to bring up because there is time. There is plenty of time, and one thing well at a time is such a good way to put it. Never mind just one thing at a time, one thing well with your focus on it. Never mind all the distractions, people going, do this, do that, do the other thing. Sod off. I'm doing what I'm doing, not what you want me to do. That's one of my biggest lessons of this last few years if I can encourage other people to tell all those voices out there, the authorities, the other people who think they know better than you, whoever they might be, sod off. I'm doing things in my own time, and the sky will not fall in if I don't follow your timetable. Thank you very much. It's actually such a great freeing kind of thing to do, to be able to say, no, thank you. I'm doing this. And the thing is, we've got 3 new years.
Yeah, we
We
do.
haven't, it's not like there's this mad panic sometimes, I feel, with people that, oh, it's New Year and I've got to do everything now. And I've got to sort everything now. And it's like, wait a minute. Just breathe. And I'm doing so much of that. So much breathing, so much lying down still since I came home. I've only been home a week and it almost feels like it was a dream, but I have the pictures, so it's okay. Um, but yeah, I've been really super tired, but I was tired before I went away and flying in a tin can at thousands of miles an hour through several time zones and whatnot and what have you. That's not great on the psyche, the body, the everything. You know, your spirit's got to keep up with you, although that can fly at the speed of light anyway. But, everything's got to settle back in. And it's taken a whole week. And I've been quite busy as well, trying to catch up with everything. And finding my calendar was squiffy. That was interesting. So I've got rid of my calendar on my phone altogether, and I'm going back to using a paper one. And that also feels like giving me more time. Although it's a bit annoying because that one used to sync in with the one on my laptop. It's the same, my Proton Mail calendar. So I have to make time to coordinate them. So yeah, it's really, really quite nice.
I hope you're using the one I gave you, or the one you got from me. The
The
calendar.
calendar. Oh gosh, yes, that's up in the clinic and in my downstairs in my living room so I can check everything. But the one in the clinic shows who's in which days because I've got 3 more new people joining me. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed by energies. They are lovely, lovely people, but I have to think about them now. They're taking up room in my head and my heart. And I think, okay, that's all right. It's fine. They are going to work independently of me. They're not needing me to coordinate them or anything. I just need to get them settled in for next month. That's all.
It
It's
was
simple.
inevitable. It was always going to be that way because it always happens to you. And so, and who wouldn't want to work with you? My goodness, if I lived closer to you, I would be working with you. I work with you on this. So I
Yes,
can fully
yes.
understand that, June. And I can also understand from your perspective that kind of that loss of complete and utter freedom to do what the hell you want whenever you want. So it's like responsibility will find you.
Oh, I tell
And
you what, it's all right, really. It's just letting them into my space, making sure that they leave it nicely, have all the instructions they need, so there's no nasty surprises. That's all. Because they're going to handle their own diary. I'm just going to do a minimal bit of advertising for them, and that's it, really. And they will, just look after each other because they're together. They're a sort of a team. I feel slightly taken over by them though, because there's more of them than there is of me. And there's me and Katie who've been there for a while, and then there's another acupuncturist who's loitering and another one who's further away. But there's going to be no room for more people soon at this rate, but that's fine. What's going to be nice is that I'm going to have people to look after it when I want to go away again. This is my long-term goal. And I'm going to do a serious amount of manifesting this afternoon after this, with this tool that my friend Lindsay gave me to work on trying to get one of the other houses in the enclave where my daughter lives and use it for my holidays, rent it out to other people, but also to use for retreats and whatnot.
I would definitely come on that.
That would be fabulous. Yeah.
So, how are you going to manifest this afternoon? I'm sure everyone's curious. So, tell us your
Well, it's
thing.
a new one to me that I haven't used before. My friend Lindsay gave it to me, and it's from her friend Susie, and it involves circles. And you draw your circle in close with your close people, people you couldn't do without, people you're connected with, who you like to have around, your wider community of people you do exchanges with or whatever. And then you go through a sequence of 7 different steps saying what you want to happen at different levels of this manifesting. And I haven't got it just here with me, but it's not mine to share so much. So I can't
No,
suggest that other
I
people
just,
do this
it's a
unless
spell.
they want to me to put them in touch with Susie. Yeah.
It's a spell. So it's
Yeah.
basically a recipe for the ingredients of your cake of success. So
Yes.
it's and you're drawing it. So it's almost like a vision board, which is kind of, the next thing along. We're going to have the full moon around the Imbolc celebration, the full Rowan moon, and that's the vision
Mm.
board moon. So you're kind of creating a vision board really and writing or drawing the words that you want. And anyone can do that spelling. And in fact, everything we do is spelling. Every time we write is spelling. I was just reading something about squares. I've never been attracted to squares. And this person was saying that squares are a way of blocking energy and stopping you from connecting to energy, which is why religious buildings always have no squares in them. They're always rounded with a kind of slight nipple on them, which is to kind of draw down the spiritual kind of connection. And that makes perfect sense to me. So, because I'm very attracted to that shape, it's kind of like
Mm.
almost I would say an Arabic shape.
Well, it is. It is. They
It,
use that shape,
yeah,
and also in anthroposophical perspective, Steiner always said that there are no right angles in nature. So their buildings and their windows were always
slightly off.
slightly off. Mm.
Which is right, because if you have all these blocks, then it breaks the energy force field. And the person was saying that if you put someone in a cell, you're basically putting them in a square place and it's like becomes a battery cell. So you're shutting down
Oh,
their energy. I know, but it
oh,
makes sense. This kind of, and cities are all blocks and kind of there's no roundness. And yeah,
yeah,
well, planets are round. It's like the circle script that you're talking about, the circle spell is all round. It's like, we are round. There's no right angles in the human body either. So we should take our lead from that really, and not just the natural world, but our own selves. So
quite,
it's just
quite.
fascinating, what
It
is
is.
occurring in the wider world. So you said you had other things you wanted to share apart from your new place in Thailand, which will be open soon when you manifest your house over there, and we'll all be
I need
coming to your
investors, is
new.
what I need. I need
Well,
people.
you got people to pay for the cats. I'm sure you'll be able to get people to pay for the investment.
Well, yeah, that was minimally successful, but I seem to have lost the other page that I had. That's very interesting. I was just listening to Christina. She's a colleague from a group that I'm in on Telegram called Soul Solutions. And she's also in the Flower Essence
Mhm.
group that I'm in. She's an astrologer, and her partner does numerology and astrocartography. And so they did a little talk, which I missed because I fell asleep. Missing everything. I'm falling asleep. Sorry, I fell asleep again. It's like I'm not at all embarrassed by this. I might have been in the past, but I'm not now.
No, don't be. You're recovering. It's refreshing, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm recovering from my life. So honest. Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah. He was saying, Alan, her partner, he was saying about the 3 New Years. The first one in January is like the civic one, the one that is recognized as
Oh,
the January New Year of authority and society, which kind of relates to the body and mind, he was saying. Hadn't looked at it like this. The Lunar New Year relates more to the soul. So that's quite interesting. And then, of course, there's the astrological New Year in March,
Sorry, when's the Lunar New Year?
February 17th this year.
Okay, the Chinese New Year.
Yeah, except it's not just Chinese, so I'm avoiding saying that. They use it in Korea and
The
Vietnam and
Asian New
everywhere
Year.
else, and it and also in Thailand.
Which is interesting. Well, when
Mm.
you said three, I just thought of, as you say, the civil one, because Capricorn is governance.
Yeah.
Capricorn is winter, which is, as you said, well, winter is earth, but it's that kind of logic. But it isn't. But then you've got the Witch's New Year, which is the 31st, so of October. So I was thinking those
Oh,
are
there's that. There's four. Yeah,
the
really.
astrological New Year and that. So I hadn't
Yeah.
factored in the Chinese New Year as well,
Mm.
or the Pan-Asian New Year.
Yes, yes.
I hadn't factored that in. I'm not sure where I fit with that. I have to see. I mean, I believe in the Chinese energy thing, but it's just which code really resonates with you at the end of the day, isn't it? It's the
It was
language of the
another
universe.
way of looking at it. That's what I thought. No, well, I've only just listened to it. But what he was saying also is about these 50-year cycles. And looking back, like when you've got, what's the names? What is Saturn and Neptune?
I was about to say Saturn is on a 49. It was every 7 years.
Saturn and Neptune together, their conjunction
Yes, in Pisces.
in, yes, well, they're coming at zero Aries, aren't they?
Yes, they're at
So
the end
this
of
is that
Pisces.
that new year thing that's so important. 36 years ago, the last time they did this was the fall of the Berlin Wall.
That you see, it's so good that we point these things out, the
Mm,
patterns that exist, the matrix that we live in.
yeah.
It's, you know, it's all there to be understood and appreciated and then worked for your highest good. We were talking last night at Circle about, which Carol will be glad I brought this up because she's one of your biggest fans,
Oh,
about the appear and disappear
oh,
and
yes.
the whole kind of concept of appear and disappear, which is when your things go missing and you look thoroughly, absolutely everywhere for them, and they return or they don't, but they generally do possibly at some point. And
Right where you looked before.
exactly. And that points
Amazing.
to the different time dimensions
Yeah.
and how things are not exactly as we think them. And we were talking about this last year, I mean, last night even, because I live in a world that this happens all the time.
Mm.
And then this morning I got up and I found something, my little pendulum, that I've lost for about a year, whilst I was looking for something else. And I was like, oh, just sweet validation. And then I was talking to my friend and she was saying, oh, yeah, timelines are different because, like for instance, her and her partner remember the death of Nelson Mandela, but not him being imprisoned. And I said, I don't really understand that kind of
Do you know this?
analogy. But she said, people have different, it's like they remember different things in a different way. But I didn't know if I agreed with that. But do you know what she means?
Well, there is this thing called the Mandela effect, and I've never really understood what it is until somebody on a podcast I was listening to explained it that some people seem to think he died in prison.
Oh, so that's an
And
even
that's kind of
difference.
gone into their consciousness. But I know very well he didn't because I saw him walking out with Winnie and being the president of South Africa for a good number of years, for a long time before he did die. And he retired and handed over. And then he became an international kind of diplomat. So what the hell?
Well, there's a film, I don't know if you've seen it, called El Parador,
No?
which is a film that was made up. It's a funny film about Paraguay, where I used to live. And it is about the dictator dies. And so they find this American tourist that looks just like the dictator and they make him become the dictator. And it's playing on the truth that these people have lots of different body doubles, people that play them, who's
Don't.
here, who's not,
Oh
all
my
that kind
God.
of stuff. So I never know what's really real and what isn't, because it's like, is that person
At
real?
this point, anything's possible.
Well,
Anything.
that's it, isn't it? And with people, what is it called? Cryogenics,
Cryogenics.
cryogenics.
Cryogenics, freezing themselves. Yeah.
Got that, and then you've got the whole kind of, the blood kind of, whole thing going on
Yeah,
there.
no, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But, you just, I,
Wow.
but anyway,
Wow.
that I didn't mean to do that today. That's not very Capricorn, what I've just done. So I'm going to bring you back, Capricorn.
Well, we have other influences. Anyway, the last time that Saturn and Neptune were in Aries
Right. Was
was
36 years.
not the Berlin Wall. It was 600 BC.
Okay, so we're talking, okay, let's do the maths then. So 600 BC makes that what? 2,626 years ago.
Yeah,
6,000,
I don't know.
yes, because 600 BC is 600 plus, so it's 2626.
Oh, I like that.
So
Mm.
2626 is 88, which is 16, which is 7.
Wow. And although through all of that, the two infinity things and wow.
So that's interesting. And Saturn
Mm,
in Pisces was all about grounding your spiritual practice and being
mm.
firmly committed to it and not just wafting around to the odd meditation here, there, and everywhere. It was about really accepting you have a spiritual aspect to your being if you're indeed and not an, was it a non-player character? Then you have a spiritual aspect.
Stranger Things.
And
No, was
on
it
that,
Stranger Things? What was it? Non-player character.
I
I
don't
just saw
know,
that
but
on something just recently. Somebody
yes,
said,
and it said that basically you've got people, and as soon as you turn away, they like switch off. And I said, and then they come back, and there's like nothing else to them. They are just there as like background. And I said, I was talking again in Circle last night. We have great discussions. And I said, I always felt like that as a child. I thought that, the reality was my reality. And when I went to sleep, everything else just froze. And when I became awake again, everything else just kicked back in again. It was as easy to stop it and start it as just like that. So,
Is this why we're all not sleeping terribly well? Because we're trying to find out what goes on in the middle of the night. There you go.
not just menopause. It's not what we're eating. It's not the fact we're on our screens too much. It is because we're astrally traveling all over the place, going, what the fuck is this? Could be, could be.
Could be.
That's quite funny. So let's think about Saturn and Neptune. So we've got Saturn and Neptune going into Aries now. Neptune is a water planet. So Neptune isn't particularly
Yes.
going to like fire. But what it will mean is that anything that's in the water that hasn't been purified will get purified, literally boiled. And then you've got Saturn going into Aries, which Earth doesn't like fire particularly either, scorched Earth. But
Oh, yes.
Saturn is going to speed up because Saturn is Father Time, so time is going to become much more creative. And yeah, and but hopefully the Neptune will keep the Saturn hydrated.
Yes, yes. Good pairing. Good pairing.
But
It's also about dissolving illusions as well. I mean, Pisceans are notorious for creating their own reality. And my daughter is classic at this. She's just like, I don't care. I'm in my bubble. And
no,
she's right.
she is
She's not
right.
wrong. She's not wrong. But
But it's
that's her
like
being a Neptune-y kind of
you
fishy
saying
kind of person.
does make sense because then you've got the whole thing of moving away from the illusion that there is power beyond you. So as in you are all powerful. I'm hoping that will come to people because that I feel that we're all like gods. We have the capacity to be, as divine and as human at the same time as we wish.
Mm,
And we can heal ourselves and do all those things.
mm,
So I think it'll be stepping into leadership because Aries is adventure, Aries is leadership, Aries is also the beginning. There's a youthfulness, which takes us back to Rowan, which is Rowan's the maiden. She's youthful, she's excited about the journey in front of her, rather than, by the time she gets to the crone phase.
like I've seen it all. I don't,
I don't want to do this anymore.
nothing's
But
exciting anymore. But it is, though. I can't stop being excited by things. I'm forever youthful, which is what my name means, actually, in
Juno,
Greek. June, yeah.
yeah.
I'm never going to grow up. I know it. Oh,
Which
by
is
the
beautiful.
way,
Go
one of
on.
my friends is a big fan of yours.
Oh,
Of
that's
you. So
nice.
she'll be following you now. If she saw I posted our latest because I did the two at once, the two Thai ones at the same time. And she said, "Oh, she's amazing." I said, "Go follow her."
Oh,
Yes.
that's sweet. Hello, June's friend.
Helen. Her name's
Helen.
Helen.
Nice to see you, Helen. Yeah, well, I think we just know that everything is very dynamic and it's not, the foundations we're laying need to be as dynamic, but they need to be laid properly.
Mm.
And I think that's it for my message from today is just like, one thing at a time well.
Okay, have we still got time for some more bits? Because I've
Yeah,
got
you
more
talk
bits
now.
here.
I've done my bits.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you're going to have things to say about these things
Oh yeah.
because one of them was Chiron in Taurus, and that's on a 50-year cycle. And the last time was 1976, which I remember very well.
Hang on.
And
When's Chiron going into Taurus?
not sure.
Because it's not anytime soon, because
It's
Chiron's still
this
around.
year, sometime this year.
Really? Because let me just
Oh,
check.
okay. Well, it
Because
might not be true. Okay, who knows?
no, I'll check that in the background. You carry on.
Okay. Um, and the other time was in the 20s, which is when there was the Wall Street crash and that affected everything else. And 1976, there was financial stuff. It is about financial stuff mainly, and we are seeing some financial shenanigans going on.
Okay, it's only going to go in from the 19th of June to the
Yes,
17th of September. And it doesn't return fully in Taurus until next year on the 14th of April.
right.
So it's dipping its toe in. So yes, so Chiron is the wound and Taurus is wealth, possessions, security, financial security, the body, the throat, like
Yes.
so the spoken word, um, and kind of ears and jaw is Chiron. I
Yeah.
mean Chiron and Taurus, and the neck, so the spine, the cervical spine of the neck.
Mm,
So, people are going to feel like their heads are being cut off, perhaps because they have lost their way, because the financial situation blows up. I don't know.
mm.
Um,
Interesting thing about throats.
Go on.
I have been wondering and trying to find out and figure out how come so many women are on thyroxine and what's environmentally been affecting people. And I just thought it was a general, and it probably is a bit just general
Oh my God.
environmental toxins. However, I saw someone, Clive DeCarl, being interviewed by Sonia Poulton on Monday, and he said it's chlorine. Chlorine in the water has been messing with people's thyroid glands for a long time. And
Yeah.
I don't know why, mostly it's women, but he also says it's to do with the breast. So I think, okay, so I'm going to look into this some more, but I think this is more of a reason than ever for people to think about having filtered water. I haven't always done that, and to not have long soaks in the bath unless you put some powdered vitamin C in the bath
Or
with it.
salt. Powdered vitamin C.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah, I can see that working. It could
Mm,
be good for your skin, actually. Um,
Yeah.
but also, thyroid issues are to do with heavy toxins. So it can't, I wouldn't say
Well,
it's probably
chlorine
just
is a heavy
chlorine.
toxin.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you
Believe
mean
me,
other ones
I
as
don't,
well?
I mean
Oh,
other ones as
as
well.
well. Yeah, yeah, sure,
I
sure.
don't just, there's a jacuzzi in my local gym and I don't get in it because it makes me laugh because the a level of chlorine in there is like,
Oh,
I watch people sitting in it, what looks to me like a vat of boiling acid. And I'm just like,
yes.
why would you
Yes.
be in there?
No.
Um, no, yes. And I knew of this couple who both developed th like Hashimoto's disease, and
Right.
it was very curious because they were biologically, even though they were a couple, completely different. And what it was there was a slow oil leak under their house, and that had been going on for years. And that was enough to, living in that atmosphere to trigger that level of response, which is why I know it's heavy duty chemicals, basically.
Yeah.
I would say possibly all the perfumed products that people
Yes.
surround themselves in, because people are putting all
Yes.
these expensive or cheap
Mm.
perfumes all over their skin, all over their
Yep.
chest, perfume. I mean, the
Mhm.
perfume industry is poison.
Shower gels, bath bombs, blah, 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 blah. And maybe that's why it's more women than men, because more women than men tend to take long soaks in the bath with
And who tend to
perfumed
put all of this
items.
perfumed items on. So, but and
But men are doing a lot of that now too.
you can get the same
Mm.
effect. I'm pr living proof of it. I wear body butters that I make, which are full of essential oils. I wear sprays with essential oils, and I always smell really good.
Yeah, I wish we had smell-o-vision. I'd love to have a sniff.
I'd have to back that up, right? The smell-o-vision thing. But no, but I buy a perfume from Oshadi, the oil.
Oh, I love
I
Oshidi.
I buy their perfume,
Mm,
and it's just
mm,
essential oils. I mean, I make my own,
mm,
but I prefer
mm.
theirs, and it's just
Yes.
divine.
Best thing ever. Well, while we're talking about skin, I mentioned before we came on that I found a new face thing that I was going to
Yeah.
try, and it's made of rice and cloves. That's it.
Okay, talk me through it because that sounds really dry at this point in time.
Found it on, no, no, no. It's got water as well. There's water as well, but preferably filtered water, right? And yeah, it was from some social media thing. And you put 2 tablespoons of rice, white rice,
I was about to say it's got to be white, I'm sure. Yeah, white
yeah,
rice,
into a bowl, a pan with a cup of water. Now, a cup is no, how do you translate that?
250 mil.
That's it. And very specifically, 5 cloves. And you soak it overnight, and then you boil it for an hour, strain it off, put it in a jar, and it felt so lovely. I've only done it this morning. It felt so lovely.
Okay, so we've got 250
Mils,
of rice
250 mils of water,
with how much rice?
2 tablespoons. Sorry,
Two
mixing
tablespoons.
things.
Sorry. Yeah, so 2 tablespoons, which is approximately 30 grams
Hmm.
of rice with 250 mil of water and 5 cloves. Leave overnight, strain it off,
No, boil
boil,
it. Boil it for an
boil it
hour.
all together,
Boil it for an hour, then strain it. Mm.
then strain it, cool it, and then apply it to your face.
Yeah, and it's liquid. Well, I don't know
Yeah,
where it
but
is.
what as a toner?
It is like a toner. It is
Yeah,
like a
because
toner.
the clove is very astringent.
Mm.
I'm using a toner that I created because I was concerned about the size of my pores.
Oh, you
So I
had a
thought,
thing last time we spoke. You
yes,
went
I
for a
did.
facial. How did that go?
It was all right. It didn't do what I wanted it to do, but it was an amazing experience, and I'm very grateful for it. And every time I get touched by another human being in a spa-like circumstance, I get a
Yeah.
lovely relaxation, and I'm very grateful.
Yep.
This was I got the opportunity to chat to the beautician, and I said to her, I've got these really big pores, and I make my own facial cleanser and I make my own creams. And I said, what can I use to close my pores? And she said, well, just find an astringent. And I said, can I use witch hazel? And she said, yes. So I have made a toner that I put on after my facial my facial cleanser, which is witch hazel with vegetable glycerine, aloe vera, fractionated coconut, and distilled water. And I
Oh,
just put that on, and that has closed the pores.
nice.
So, and then I put my magic balm on top. So
Hmm.
I'm feeling quite good about skincare at the moment because my skin was really bad, which Capricorn rules the skin, the bones
Um,
and the skin. So, and it's,
mm,
if you've got like problems with boundaries and standing up for yourself, it's going to come out in your skin
mm,
or your bones. And
yeah.
indeed, a friend of mine broke her wrist very badly this last
Oh.
week. So yes, it's interesting, the relationship to the body.
Yes, it is. I've been using witch hazel and rose water, simple kind of facial cleanser, really. It's more of a cleanser and a toner as well. And then also I made my own little I took this with me. I've got a big pot. Um tallow, beef tallow,
Mm,
jojoba oil,
mm.
witch hazel rose water, and possibly coconut as well.
And
I
how's that
get
going?
confused.
How's it
Just
going? Do you
I
like
just
it?
slosh things in. I really like the feel of that. And it's really nice on my elbows and my arms.
The tallow will be, you've got to get
Tallow
good
is
quality
lovely.
tallow. Mm.
Hunter gather. Sorry, product placement. Anyway, I like hunter gather. They're really good.
We
Mm.
can product place as much as we want. It's our show.
We can do what we like. They're not paying me. I
Oh, I do have something else to tell you, which is quite funny, and I don't know if anyone else will find it funny, or interesting. In fact, I don't know if anyone will still be with us at this late stage in the day, but hey. So I went on I'm the member of the psychic school, the College of Psychic Studies in London, and they had a free Enneagram workshop, and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go to this workshop because I'd really like to understand more about Enneagrams. The only reason I wanted to understand about Enneagrams is because I didn't know anything about them. I've just had, people going, oh, you're this, you're that, and, me not knowing what I was. So anyway, I did the course and it was really interesting. There's 9 archetypes and they all flow into each other, etc. So you have to go deeper to understand how they all relate to each other, as in how you can have aspects, etc. But she does this quiz. Her name is her name is Dr. Deborah Edgerton, and I'll put a link to her website underneath this. You could do the free Enneagram quiz. And she says, whatever you do, don't get too hung up on your results because, that is, though, your archetype. And, it's not going to change. You can't change your archetype. So, anyway, I was thinking that I was, as usual, one way. And I found out I wasn't what I expected at all. And I did have that moment of thinking, oh my God, when you get news that you didn't necessarily want. And I've made peace with it now. But that made me laugh because a lot inside to myself as I cried. Because I'm an individualist, a number 4. And all my life people have said, oh, you're a number 8, you're a number 3 or something like that. And actually I'm a number 4.
Ah, well, this reminds me of Caroline Mace and her
Oh,
archetypes
I love
and the
her.
gene keys. Everybody's got a blubbing,
Everybody's got something. There's me with my astrology.
yeah,
Everybody's got something.
yeah.
But it did fit in with my gene keys, and it made a lot of
Okay.
sense because I was, I've been working on trauma and, my mindset this shadow
Mm.
time. And actually, what this said was, a number 4 is the emotional creator of the world. So you feel everything, and
Ah.
that's why you have this reservoir of melancholy that you can't escape. It's just like,
My
well,
God.
I don't need to spend any more money on therapy. I just accepting my reservoir of melancholies.
You can't fix it.
I can't. And that's, that there's so much freedom in knowing that, I can tell you.
There is, I
This is
bet.
like,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm good at my intuitive job stuff because I've generally felt
Yes.
it.
Yes. Oh, now I need to do it.
It's really
Won't it
interesting.
be fun?
You'll
Won't it
need
be
to
fun?
tell us what you are because it's
I have to. I'll be
really
all
enlightening.
honesty. Yeah. Mm,
Mm. Right.
mm.
What time
We
is
should
it?
stop now.
Oh my God, we do need to stop. So,
Get a
blessed
grip.
be. It's always such a pleasure. I hope you've had as much fun as we clearly have doing this together. And I
Yeah.
wish you well anyway. I don't know what June thinks, but
Of
we'll be
course. I
posting.
think I've had a great day so far. So this is just continuing. Yeah.
And we'll see you all
Oh,
again on the 30th is when we'll do our next one, because that's
oh,
the Rowan Moon.
yes. 2 Fridays from now. Okay, 2 Fridays from now, I'm going to be on a train going to Gloucester for my Touch for Health instructors update.
What time do you leave? Oh, let's talk about this after this.
We'll do
Bye,
it
everyone.
before. We'll do it before that. Yeah.
Bye, everyone.